You are now listening to Asking for a Friend with TalkDoc, sharing insights through real, honest, and practical ways to improve your communication and relationships. Featuring your hosts, Dr. Pamela Kreiser, Meredith Edwards-Nagel, and Taylor Polindo.
Okay, so have you heard of this concept called Humblebragging?
We know this
because we play sports.
Fill us
You should
in.
know it.
Yeah.
What if I do it and don't know about it?
Oh, we would tell you.
What is
we would
it?
definitely tell you if you did this. You want to talk about it, Taylor?
I
It doesn't
could take a
matter.
swing at it. I don't know. Introductions are hard for me because I just get it right all the time. And I just want to even the playing field for you, Meredith. No, a humble brag. It's bragging, but in a backhanded way. Is that how you'd say it? I think that it's self-deprecating. You're almost complaining about something, or it seems like you're complaining about something, but you're actually just bragging about yourself. One of the examples I liked was, what was it? Oh, it was so hard to get here. My Tesla just drives so fast, or it's just so easy to check out because my car drives itself. Things like that, where you like slip in this, oh, life's so hard for me, but actually I just wanted you to know that I have a very expensive car or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like slip in the brag.
Yeah, that underlying intent, right? That you're boasting, really. It may come across like you're not, but really you're trying to just show off or show something positive or good about yourself.
So it's bragging, but with a cloaking device. Have it seem like
with
you're
the appearance of humility.
appearing humble about this thing, but the real goal is for you to know this great thing about me.
Yeah, or even I think a good one is when you take it as a negative, but you're really trying to sell it as a positive. Oh my gosh, I'm just so busy this weekend. I got invited to this. It's just so hard to say no because I have so many things I have to be a part of. Which really you're saying is like so many people love me and like I'm so desired, but you're making it, oh darn, isn't it so hard to be me?
Taylor,
You're really quite good at this, Taylor.
I was just going to say that. I was like, why is she so good at that? You don't do this in your real life, but you're really good at that.
Do you guys do this? I don't think any of you do it.
No, I don't think we do it, but I think we want to talk about it because it's right in our wheelhouse. Okay, so we should do some examples probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the fun part of it. So it's going to be a brag, but we're going to call out what's the humble part. So the one that I read was this example of the friend complains how swamped she is. And she's so stressed that she's actually lost weight and now fits into her high school jeans. And she can't believe it.
Killed me.
That was
I was
funny.
like, get out of here. Yeah.
So now I'm popular and I'm amazing and I'm now skinny.
Also, you're magical because how do you just lose weight without trying? Who is that person? You're a wizard.
Goodness. That's right.
Can we give some other ones? I like the one that's bragged about how awful she looks without any makeup on.
What's the brag there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait.
It would be like, oh my gosh, guys keep hitting on me when I'm at the gym and it's so weird because I'm not even wearing any makeup or have my hair done. I just don't.
Yes,
even get
that.
it.
That's really
So good again.
I do this. I don't know.
I feel like this is a lot in sports. I was talking to my husband about this, and we were saying this is more typically conversationally with guys in sports. And I like the one that was, I don't know why people always want me on their team. I'm just doing my thing. That example.
God.
That was a good one.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
but they want me and I'm so included.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't played sports since college, and so it's been so many years. Everybody still wants me when I play on these co-ed leagues or whatever.
Yeah. I thought the one I didn't even study, but somehow I got an A. I can't believe how lucky I am.
Can I just tell you that I lived with a few of those people growing up and they would complain. Oh, I'm so stressed about this test. Oh my gosh, I got 105%. I didn't even study. And I'm like, how do you get 105? They're like, there were extra credit questions. Amazing.
You're like,
Okay,
I didn't even see the extra credit question.
Do you remember that exam I took of yours and I didn't know there was a back to it?
I do remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We made that right. We figured it out. But that was horrifying.
That was the worst.
Because you went over the test with me and you didn't answer the last 8 questions and it wasn't even on the Scantron.
Flip it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was bad.
Okay. So some other examples.
I like this one. I'm such a nerd. I've read 20 books this month. Like oh my gosh, I've been like reading so many books. I'm so nerdy.
So it's a put down, such a nerd, but I can't believe I read 20 books. I do that bragging, but I get to put myself down slightly before it. But that's probably the humble part.
I feel like I hear this a lot with parenting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one. Around sleep, you hear it a lot. Oh, I don't even know. They just slept through the night from the moment they came out. I don't know where maybe that's not a humble brag, but I
might be just bragging.
I feel like I hear a lot of bragging sometimes with parents. So I just want to know, what does this cost you?
Looking like a bitch. Just kidding. Take that out.
I think like people just, and if you do this a lot, people probably don't like you.
Yeah.
Off-putting, I think.
There was this study that they did at Harvard, 6 studies, and they looked at humble bragging. What is it and why do we do it? They said one of the reasons we do it because we want to be liked and respected. Fundamentally, we want people to think well of us. And this is what their conclusion was. The insecurity signaled by humble bragging manifests in dislike. So they basically said pretty much people don't like humble bragging messages.
And they talked about in that research too that it's deceit, try to appear to be humble. They're just trying to deceive you, basically.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like that encounter that you and I have sometimes where we talk to somebody and we can't put our finger on why we get a weird feeling from them or just a dislike, like a distaste. And I wonder if humble bragging's there and we put the name on it and go, oh, it's because they do this thing, but I didn't notice what it was.
Yeah.
It feels like a little disingenuine. If you want to just tell me something, just tell it to me straight. Don't do it in a backhanded way. But then Mary and I were talking, we thought that it probably depends
as you do in the podcast preview that I'm not attending.
As we do.
It's our study session.
That's true.
But what you believe about the person has to have an influence on how you receive this message. Because I was thinking, Meredith told me this. I think I would just like, yeah, good for you, girl. I wouldn't take it as her doing this backhanded weird dance thing. So I feel the intent behind it would matter, but also what you believe about the person and your relationship with the person.
Yeah. No, I think that provides the context for how they're saying it. Let's do a few more. I feel so old. I can't believe I'm still getting carded in bars.
Honestly, of all the examples we had in prep for this, I think I might have done that. I don't do it anymore.
Like money. I can't believe I don't even know what I'm doing, but somehow my investments just keep growing and growing.
I can't believe I got another raise. I hardly work when I'm at work.
It's like I'm not even trying.
Yeah, it's like I'm not even trying. Exactly.
I feel like the ickiness that I feel towards this is because I get the sense that I can't trust you. You're not being genuine and honest with me because you're saying it's a bad thing, but I know that it's a good thing. It's an honesty thing for me. One of my turnoffs about it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the brag part. There's bragging, which is a direct telling something, an achievement or an accomplishment or whatever, directly saying that thing. And there's this humble bragging. I don't love bragging, but I actually might like it better than humble bragging.
Yeah. Why don't we like bragging?
It's a tone thing, I think, for me.
Because how are you supposed to share your achievements and what you're proud of?
For me, it's a tone and a balance thing. You can have moments of bragging or high confidence in expressing yourself, but there's a balance in my relationship with you where you also have things where you're not perfect at or that you've stumbled or whatnot, and you share in some of those vulnerabilities as well. I can take some of your moments of bragging because the tone is more of confidence, where someone that's bragging, I feel there's no underlining with the humble. It's just, this is how great I am. And there's no relating to that person like that for me.
I feel like if you're humble bragging, you're trying to trick me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deceitfulness
like
I think they talked about in the research.
Instead of just saying, hey, I got a promotion. I'm excited. Instead, I say, I can't believe that I got a promotion again. This is the second time in a row where I've gone in with a bad review and somehow I magically come out with a new position of power.
And is that bragging to say, hey, I got another promotion at work?
I think that is bragging.
That is bragging.
Technically.
Okay.
But there's got to be a fine line between good news and bragging. There's some sort of line there. But as much as I dislike the bragging, at least you own it.
I'm thinking of what Taylor said earlier about how this relates to parenting and kids' sleep. I guess now, though, it doesn't bother me if people brag about their kids. It's more when it's on oneself and that conversation comes out that way.
So you like those bumper stickers that say "My kid's an honor student" in the kindergarten?
But there's difference, I think, in bragging about achievement. They worked really hard and they got first place versus some things with parenting is, oh yeah, they're just such great eaters. I don't know. They never fight me on anything. Or their sleep. What is it you're doing? But you're saying, oh, I don't do anything. I'm just blessed. There's a difference, I think, on your child
so
achieving.
good at this. It is killing me.
So if you want to have a different career besides all your other careers, you could be a humble bragger. That's your fallback career.
That's my fallback. Okay, good to know.
Uh-huh. When you have bragging versus humble bragging, when somebody brags, it's like, oh, kind of arrogant. I mean, it's honest. It's truthful. Because I always am leery about people that tell me their accomplishments. I always think to myself, if you have to tell me your accomplishments, I'm already worried about our relationship and how that's going to even go if you're announcing all your things to me.
Yeah.
But then the humble bragging is like this disingenuous thing.
Yeah.
So you are arrogant, perhaps just like the bragger, but you're trying to appear not that way.
It's sad though, because it seems like the reason people would brag or humble brag is because they're insecure. They're like trying to get you to like them.
Oh yeah.
But it's actually a turnoff. So it's like this cycle that you feel insecure. So you're going to brag or humble brag, and the person's probably not going to respond well, and you'll feel more insecure, and it'll create more distance in the relationship, and it'll just be the cycle. So then you'll try to impress them more. We're attracted to confidence, right? But how do you tell someone just be confident when they're insecure?
There's responses you could have for sure.
Because insecurity is such a turnoff, right?
I think so. I think this would be a turnoff if you had someone who did this a lot.
Yeah. Because
I don't think people who are close to me do this to me.
No. I think
because I would have cut their anchor line a long time ago.
Yeah. You don't
good boating reference there.
Yeah. So did you see the Harvard study? They were answering the question of why do people humble brag? And one of the things they said is because talking about yourself gets you a brain chemical reward. And they compared it to similar brain chemical rewards that are found in sex, cocaine, and good food.
Addicted to it.
So, wow, you're going to humble brag and talk about yourself, and you're getting a little dopamine shot in there.
Yeah.
I think
I was surprised when I saw sex, cocaine, and good food.
It almost makes me feel like that's why we would, in this circle, if we're going to pick bragging or humble bragging, go with somebody that just brags, because at least that they're forthcoming and honest. But this person that does this is seeking their own pleasure twice. Really, let me do this humble brag that gets me this high to talk about myself, then also get you to compliment me or reassure me of what I already know to be true.
It's like,
but I'm tricking
like
you.
fishing for a compliment.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Little sex, little cocaine, little chocolate chip cookie.
I feel like the humble brag would be the least satisfying of that list, but I haven't done cocaine, so I don't know.
Oh, that was excellent.
Gosh.
Excellent.
You're welcome, everyone. I know people were shocked just right there. They're like, no way, didn't see that coming.
Okay.
So why are people doing this that are not our friends?
Well, what do we do? How do we respond when we're around these addicts?
That's a good question. Why do people do this? I think people feel insecure. We talked about that. I think people would like to be acknowledged. They'd like to be liked and respected, like we talked about, or accepted, perhaps. And there are some people who I think honestly misfire out of that insecurity. And I would put this in that category and say, as much as you might think this is going to get you inclusion or some affection or love or positivity, and you might even get the dopamine shot just because you're putting that sequence together, but it's not going to fulfill you.
Yeah.
It won't be the love and connection that you're actually seeking. So I think the why we do that is, I understand the why, but what does it actually get you? It doesn't get you much. I think it's pretty empty on the other end.
And could even hurt you if
Yeah.
you go negative. People don't want to be around it. Okay.
So your
then-
question, Taylor, was what do we do?
Yeah. Two questions, because what do you do in response, and what do you do if you are the humble bragger?
If you are the humble bragger, you got to stop it right now.
Stop it. Just stop it. I'm sure there's lots of research on this. People love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
So if you're the person doing it, just ask questions and shut your mouth.
Yeah. A lot of things we talk about on the podcast, awareness is one of the earlier steps towards growth and change. And so I would say if some of those examples rang true for any of you listening, you might say, oh, I want to start listening a little more to how I talk. And I would also associate it perhaps with moments where you feel like you didn't get a good feeling from an interaction. And you might hear yourself doing the humble bragging and not realizing that's creating disconnection, not connection. And in doing that, maybe hearing, oh, this maybe isn't helping me so much.
Gosh.
I can't believe I was asked to speak at another conference. I'm so bad at those things.
When is the conference?
Yeah, so you're going
get
with
to the
ignoring.
Content. Yeah.
Ignoring and asking a question, which it's a real question, like when's the conference? You certainly get me off the brag really fast.
Or you can acknowledge what they've done, right?
Okay.
So you can say, it's really great that you're getting these opportunities.
Then what are you doing? You're highlighting the brag.
True.
So I say, I can't believe I'm asked to speak at another conference. I'm so bad at speaking, but they invited me again. Then you call out the brag, and what's the brag?
Yeah. Well, come on. You know why you get
Your
invited.
desires.
Yeah, you're good at it.
Acknowledge what the accomplishment is or the brag. I actually could see myself using that strategy a little more than a question. Because if I think someone's trying to deceive me, I don't know that I'm as nice as Taylor to ask that question. I think I'd more expose the brag.
Okay.
So you don't think you're an expert to speak at the main conference?
She's not letting you slide by at
Damn.
all.
I know.
No, I just think I would call out the brag, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I would definitely,
But-
it depends the relationship. I have somebody that don't care to be as close with. I really get into what's going on with them. I'm asking because I'm fine, whatever, or I'll acknowledge. I'll play this game just to move on. If, let's say, it's my sister or something, then I'm probably calling you out because I'm not doing that dance.
I think we would call out brags for siblings for sure.
Oh,
You end up just repeating it, right? Oh, it was so hard for you? Really?
Yeah.
Was it?
She is killing it. Okay, let's do another one. And you tell me what your response would be. Okay, so I'm so out of shape, but somehow I managed to run 10 miles today.
I wish I was that out of shape.
Exactly.
So you acknowledged the brag, right?
Sarcasm.
You're acknowleding the accomplishment.
I
But
like
I'm
it because it's a little jab.
Yeah.
That's what the sibling response would be.
Yeah.
Humor.
If it was someone that's more of like an acquaintance, I feel like I would acknowledge it, but just, oh my gosh, 10 miles? That's really impressive.
Your voice always goes high pitched when you don't mean what you're saying.
When I'm lying to you.
Oh, that's impressive. You really
No,
like
10 miles is impressive. Come on, I'm impressed by that.
The option is to respond with some sense of humor. Or
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think
Yeah.
siblings would do as well.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Like nice humor or mean humor?
And I
Like
can see
humor.
the air quotes too, right?
Yeah.
I can see the out of shape.
Actually, really well said for siblings. I can completely see that interaction. That's amazing.
Okay. So I think my preference would be the next one, ignoring the humble brag. Just
Oh,
move
you
right
just
past it.
pretend it's not there.
Yeah. I think I like that one because if you're trying to brag, I don't want to acknowledge it because that's gross. I'm not going to do that for you.
Yeah.
I can see
So
that. You
I'll
wouldn't
just
feed
ignore it and go straight to the content. Yeah.
What's the example then?
Let's see. I'm so out of shape and I ran 10 miles today. Oh, where did you go running?
Oh, yeah. So you just sidestep it completely.
Yeah. Just I can ask a question about the topic you proposed, but I'm not even going to praise you nor
Run
make fun of
yesterday.
you. Yeah.
You could go really far away with where you take it. What kind of shoes do you run in?
Okay.
That's
So
fun.
shift the focus then.
I think it's a combination of ignoring and shifting,
Okay.
but it's sidestepping away from the humble brag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
and then
like
what the nice person's response.
I think that's bullshit.
Okay. So here's an example. It's so embarrassing that people keep complimenting me on my writing. I don't think it's that good.
Oh, that it must be. It's hard to feel embarrassed. It's overwhelming, or that must.
Be so hard for you.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds so fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to
All
do
right, so-
that.
What I hear you saying, Meredith, is
Therapist.
you'd like to move away from the brag as opposed to go straight into the brag and say, oh, that must be really hard for you to be such a good writer.
Yeah. I feel like their tone is bad. My tone with that's going to come out. Oh, maybe I would do that if I wanted to sound like a real yet in the situation. Because I'd be like, oh, wow, that must be really hard. Yeah. Wow, I think I might have done this before. I think I may have responded like this before. That's not good. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
my tone is ever going to be good with empathizing with a quote unquote problem.
So that's why I
It's
said
not
your
gonna-
tendency
yeah.
is to move away from the brag. You don't want to go near it because you're like, no, thanks.
I'm not going to be productive at all if I do. If you're hearing the BS, I'm not going to be able to be sincere. I'm going to come back with BS. The tone is going to be just as bad because I'm human.
Okay, so here's another one. And here's the question for you, Meredith. If you said you're more likely to call out the brag or step away from the garbage. So I say, I'm so awkward at networking events. Everyone wants to talk to me.
Oh, yeah. And if you're walking directly into it and you're calling it out, you're saying, oh, it sounds like you're actually a little more confident than you're letting on to be. Or sounds like you got this.
Doesn't sound like you're too awkward.
Yeah. This is what I would do with a friend's new boyfriend or something.
One thing I was thinking about this is that basically social media is this on steroids.
Oh,
like
that's
images,
true.
like in an image without words.
Yeah.
Wow.
So literally that's what social media is. It's essentially your highlight reel, right? You're posting celebrations of life, the parties, the vacations. It's normally happy moments, not for everyone. Some people share other things, but it's normally your best foot forward.
Right.
So we're all doing these humble brags or just bragging. I don't know. Or you're just sharing your life.
I was
Maybe
trying to
that's
find it in
why.
that Harvard study where they gave examples.
Oh, did they on the social media?
Here's one that's in the Harvard study. That's so cool. I got my dream internship and funding to go to Paris, but it's so hard to decide which one to do. These dilemmas.
Oh, so sorry for you.
Oh, like a false. So this could be like a false dilemma someone presents.
Oh, that's
I don't know
true.
which
Okay.
thing to- It's been really hard to be asked out on all these dates for these guys on Hinge. I don't know which one to pick. Like that.
Yeah. Okay. This is a post on social media. I wish the hotel employees would stop staring at me like they've never seen a skinny person before.
What? People like
I'm just
put
reading it
this
out of the Harvard
down.
study.
Like, people write this like out of their mouth or their fingertips.
I'm going to both of the Emmy Awards parties. Hashtag 2 dresses.
You're really good at making fun of them, though. I love hearing you tell the stories.
I think you're right, though, Taylor. The social media is very interesting. That's a big conveyor of it. Maybe a place where it's more condoned.
Yeah, because I think that's its purpose ultimately. And then it's become other things. It's become businesses and it's become a place where people try to be vulnerable and help others. But I think at its core, what it was intended for was sharing photos or messages, basically. And you're probably going to put your best images out there for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is why it sucks. Get off of it. Just kidding.
All right.
But you can't get off of it because you're so good at it. Your hands are tied.
Just would lose so much connection with all my friends. There's just so many on there.
It's ridiculous how talented you are at this. It's creeping me out.
Sorry.
The thing I would take away is tailoring your responses to the situation you're in. The big thing for me was a person's tone with this. And that's that ick you can read or not. That thing you can't put your finger on.
So stop doing it if you're doing it. Be quiet and ask questions. And if you're the person who's hearing it, gauge the tone, intent, and then you can pick which response you want. If you want to be generous and empathetic or make fun of them or just completely ignore it and let's just get to the content. I want to have a conversation with you.
I like it. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Please remember to rate, share, and subscribe to our podcast. And thank you for listening to Asking for a Friend.
Let us know what you thought of the episode. Our email is hello@afafpodcast.com. This show is for educational purposes only and is copyrighted. Written permission must be granted before syndication or rebroadcasting. Thanks for listening to Asking for a Friend with TalkDoc.